February's almost here, and that means a slew of new PlayStation 4 games, 15 games exactly, and in today's video, we're gonna be going over what games you should buy and what games I think you're better off waiting for a sale on. It seems like you guys have been really enjoying this series and my input on what I know about games and how they go on sale, and what games will be worth their full asking price and what games aren't, so we'll keep this series rolling. We've got 3 games that I've listed as buy and a whopping 12 that I think you guys should skip on. Not skip on entirely, but I would recommend you to wait on a sale for those games. We'll talk all about that. But let's first check out the games that I recommend you to buy. First up, if you guys have been following this channel, you know how excited I am for Metro Exodus, and of course I'm gonna put that as a buy. Metro Exodus is dropping on February 15th, and do I expect this to be a game that's absolutely stacked and packed to the brim with content? No, but I do expect it to be a rather sizable experience, and I also expect this experience to be absolute quality. Sometimes it's better to have a lot of quality than quantity, and that's what I expect out of Metro Exodus, but they are also going for a more open level design, and I do expect this to be the most content plentiful Metro game in the series' history. Of course, before playing Metro Exodus, I would recommend you to play Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. I've said that I wanted those games to be PlayStation Plus freebies for the month of February. Let's see if Sony makes that happen. I doubt it. But those games are available for really cheap, so I would recommend you to go look at those games, play through them, and then get excited for Metro Exodus because it's raising the entire bar for the franchise and it's going to be fantastic. Again, Metro Exodus hits the PS4 February 15th. I think this is one that's worth your full $60. Moving on from that, wanted to give a shout to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. That's dropping on February 21st, and this is going to include all 3 of the original Phoenix Wright games: Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All, and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Now, with these older games being released in collections, my main concern is what is this going to be priced at, and I do believe this is being released at a $29.99 price point, which is fantastic. That means you're paying $10 a pop for each Phoenix Wright game, and that is a price point I can get behind. If this was released at $49.99 or even $39.99, probably would say give it a skip, wait for a sale on, but at $29.99, I think it's a great buy. And at the end of the day, all 3 of these games were originally released on the Game Boy Advance. However, they have been fully remastered for the PlayStation 4, but don't expect anything technically groundbreaking. They're more story-driven, visual novel-style games, but they're great games for what they are, and at $30 for all 3 of the titles, I give it a high recommendation. That drops on February 21st. And lastly, this one might be a little hypocritical of me, but I want to give you the reasons why. If you're a big fan of Japanese RPGs, I think The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel is a buy on February 12th. Now, obviously, this is an older title making its first appearance on the PlayStation 4. What is it priced at? Well, it's pretty high at $49.99. But given the fact that this is an Xseed published game, I don't imagine it's gonna go on a significant discount anytime soon. Even the games on PC have held up in value. When they do go on sale, it's like 20 to 30% off. And those games have been out on PC for a while. And Trails of Cold Steel, for your $49.99, it's a game that is absolute quality, and you have a lot of content here. You have 50 to 70 hours of content depending on how much you want to do and how much you take your time. The music is exceptional. The only thing is, visually, it doesn't hold up considering it was originally a PlayStation Vita title. However, for Japanese RPG fans, this is absolutely one to check out, a must-play, and it honestly might comfortably sit in that number 2 Japanese RPG on the PlayStation 4. It might sit at that spot. I don't think it's a better game than Persona 5, but Persona 5 is a masterclass in JRPG development, so that's not saying much in terms of the quality of Trails of the Cold Steel. Do remember that this is the first part of a 4-part series. Trails of Cold Steel 1 will be dropping on February 12th. I believe the second one is coming later in the spring, and game number 3, which is going to be published by NIS America, will be coming out later in the fall. $49.99, again, steep, but you're getting 50 to 70 hours of content. You're getting an exceptional JRPG. I would say it's worth it. Now, moving on from that, we have 12 games that I would say wait for a sale on, and let's get started with an obvious one: Far Cry New Dawn. Far Cry New Dawn is dropping on February 15th, and it's the standalone expansion to Far Cry 5. It is going to be priced a little bit lower and accordingly at $39.99. However, this is a Ubisoft game. I cannot recommend any Ubisoft game on day one anymore. Look at what happened with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That game came out a month later, it's down to $30, and at this point, I've seen it as low as $25. If you're telling me Far Cry New Dawn is going to be any different, sure, we're not around the holiday time, so maybe it won't drop in price as dramatically, but it is definitely gonna drop in price. I don't see New Dawn doing as well commercially as, say, Far Cry 5. Will it do well? I'm sure it will, but even a game like Far Cry 5 dropped in price pretty quickly. I see no reason why New Dawn won't either. Pretty sure it's gonna be a very good game, but one that is gonna pay dividends if you do wait on a sale for. It's coming February 15th. Moving on from that, this is a game that so many people are excited for, but I would really say hold the break on this one. Jump Force is coming February 15th, and yes, this looks like an awesome game, a crossover of some very popular manga and anime. You got characters from Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! Is in there. There are just so many iconic characters in here. But I think you guys are forgetting that this isn't the first time a Jump game has been released. This has been done in the past, and a lot of these games just aren't that great. Yes, it's very cool from a fan service character to see all of these characters battling one another, but at the same time, as a fighting game, it might disappoint you compared to all of the other great fighting options that are out there. I would say wait on a sale for this one, but it is coming February 15th. Moving on from that, God Eater 3 is another one I would say wait on a sale for. That's coming February 8th, and I'm a big fan of the God Eater franchise. However, $60 as an asking price for God Eater 3, you know, that $60 price point is just something that you have to be a very remarkable game for me to recommend it at $60. And playing God Eater 1, playing God Eater 2, I don't believe there's $60 quality games. And added the fact that God Eater 2 went on sale rather quickly after it was released. I imagine the same thing will happen with God Eater 3. Do I expect a good game? Yes. From what I saw of God Eater 3, it's shaping up very well, but I do think the best route is to save your $60, wait for a sale on this one, but it is coming February 8th. Anthem is coming February 22nd, and this is one that I know a lot of gamers are excited for, a lot of gamers are skeptical on, and that's why I'm going to say wait on a sale for it. It's an EA published title, and we know if EA games don't hold up to par from a commercial standpoint, they will plummet in price. Battlefield 5 should be as much evidence you need on that. That game released, and within like 2 to 3 weeks, it was down to $30. You know how many gamers were upset that they dropped $60 on that game? A lot of them. We'll see how Anthem turns out, but there is that possibility that it turns out to not do all too well, and at that point, this game is going to plummet in price. Now, we will have a VIP demo, we will have an open demo. However, I think your best bet, see how this game does, see how the reviews pan out, see if the game is selling well, and then you'll be able to make a clearer decision, but just know in the back of your mind, buying the game on day one isn't that great of an idea, especially when you look at what happened with BF5. Moving on from that, we have another Ubisoft release in Trials Rising. That'll be coming February 26th, and this is a game that I'm very excited for. I love the Trials franchise, but again, it's a Ubisoft game. This one's a little bit different in that it's a download-only title. I'm sure it'll be released at like $19.99. Trials is great, but at this point, Trials is Trials, and if you play Trials Fusion, and you might have it on the PlayStation 4, it went on sale so many times, I believe it was a PlayStation Plus title, you can just go back and play that. As a big fan of Trials, I'll definitely be giving Trials Rising a look, but with the added fact of Fusion being a cheaper option, with it being a Ubisoft title, so the possibility of it going on sale rather quickly is pretty high. I would say with Rising, your best bet is to wait on a sale for this one. It's coming February 26th. Dirt Rally 2.0 is also coming February 26th, and this is one game that, yes, for Dirt fans, this is going to be absolutely awesome, but at the same time, I just don't know if these games are worth a full $60 price point. That's what I'm going to go back to. Whenever a game is being released at $60, now in 2019, I'm going to be very judgmental on it because these games drop in price so freaking quickly. And Dirt Rally 2.0, we know this game is going to be $60, and that has me concerned right away. From my recollection, Dirt is a franchise that has also seen pretty quick price drops, so I don't expect anything different out of Dirt Rally 2.0. Will it be a very good game? Probably. Will it go on sale rather quickly? Probably as well. It's coming February 26th. Moving on from that, this is another one that I'm a big fan of this IP, but the $60 price point completely ruins it. Steins Gate Elite is coming February 19th. Steins Gate is a tremendous anime. We just had the release of Steins Gate 0. That was tremendous, and now we have Steins Gate Elite, which is the definitive version of the original Steins Gate visual novel. But this visual novel was released so long ago, and Elite does have some additional content, but at a full $59.99 price point. For a visual novel, for comparison's sakes, look at Phoenix Wright Trilogy. That contains 3 games and it's being released at $29.99. Steins Gate Elite is coming out at a full $59.99. Now, I know Steins Gate is an IP so many are enamored with it, and you'll probably pay the $60 if you're a big Steins Gate fan, but given that it's a visual novel, given that it's an older one, and given that it's $60, I don't know how quickly this one is going to go on sale. Probably not that quickly because this is a more niche title, but that full $59.99 asking price is just a little bit too high for my liking. Would have loved a $39.99 price point. I think that would have been perfect, and I could have easily given it a recommendation at that. A full $60 is just a bit too high. Moving on from that, now this one I was a little bit on the fence on whether or not I would say buy or wait for a sale. Nier Automata Game of the Yorha edition is coming February 26th. This is Nier Automata, the base game. Some additional downloadable content in there as well that's not that substantial. You got like some PSN avatars, some in-game items. Nothing all too crazy, but it will be released at a $39.99 price point, which is great because Nier Automata has been a game game that's really held up in value. It released all the way back in early 2017, and at this point, almost 2 years later, it's hard to find a great deal on it. But now with the Game of the Yorha edition out, I think your best bet is wait until this version is on sale. If you could get this version for say $20, that would be great. Because you do get the base game, you do have some cool freebies in there. While they're not substantial to your gameplay experience, freebies are freebies. So why not wait for the Game of the Yorha edition to go on sale instead of buying the base game at this point, which is still going for like $30, $35. Game of the Yorha edition out February 26th, it'll be $40. Wait for it to go down to $20, $25 if you haven't played it yet, and it would be a great buy. Moving on from that, here's a game that I'm really personally excited for. Degrees of Separation is coming February 14th. It's a game that what we've seen of it has looked really great, but with games like this, with more niche downloadable titles, they tend to go on sale pretty quickly. There's always that off chance that it's a PlayStation Plus game. It's a game you can wait on a sale for, and I think within 3 to 6 months, you'll see a deep discount on it, but this could be one of the sleeper hits on the PlayStation 4 in this early 2019 block. Moving on from that, another game that's very similar in degrees of separation, and what I said is The Occupation. The Occupation is coming February 5th, and this is a game with a lot of interesting mechanics. It's being published by the guys over at Humble, and they've published some very good games, and it looks like The Occupation is going to build on that track record. It's a first-person, fixed-time investigative thriller set in Northwest England on the 24th of October, 1987. You play as a journalist, and it's set in a detailed, system-driven world where people react to your actions and time is your biggest enemy. I'm not a big fan of the time limitation mechanics. I just don't think you should be limited in time playing a game, but it seems like The Occupation was built with that idea in mind, so I'll give that a pass. Looks to be a very interesting game. I do think it's best off that you wait until this one's at that $9.99 or less price point, and then it'll be a great buy, but it is coming February 5th. We have Ghost of a Tale, which is scheduled for a release sometime in February. Now, this has already been released on PC. It's gotten a mixed to a somewhat positive reception. However, at a $25 asking price, that's the price on Steam, and if anything, it would be more expensive on the PS4. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's $25. I just don't know if a game like this is worth a full $25, and through stealth and cunning, you'll be able to explore secrets of Dwindling Heights Keep and navigate its dangers. Nobody's talking about this game. I don't see it doing all too well from a sale standpoint, so you come to the conclusion it's probably going to go on sale pretty quickly. And lastly, for you PlayStation VR guys out there, the Mage's Tale is also coming February 5th. This is one of the better VR titles on PC that is available. It's being sold at $29.99 over on Steam, and that's a pretty good price. It has a 72 on Metacritic. With PlayStation VR, I just think that there are so many great options that this one is going to fall a little bit lower on the totem pole. And with PSVR, I just don't think this game is going to resonate as hard from the get-go, but I do see down the line it being pretty cheap on the PlayStation Store. If you're looking to amass a great VR library, this one to add to your wishlist, but one that I wouldn't buy on day one. Again, it'll be dropping February 5th. And that's gonna conclude this video. We just went over all of those 15 games. Again, 3 games that I listed as buy, 12 that I said wait for a sale on. Now, I am very selective on what games I recommend you to buy. I know a lot of you guys are on a budget, and a lot of these games are expensive, and I know a lot of these games are gonna go on sale rather quickly. If you have a lot of interest in a game that I said wait for a sale on, by all means, buy it. Just know, based on my knowledge of the gaming industry, based on what I know about games going on sale, a lot of what I put in the wait for sale section, I do see going on sale pretty quickly. So just take that for what you will. And that's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.